The last couple of videos I've kind of talked about myself and about doing consultations, and as a result I've actually given some consultations this week. So I wanted to share just 3 things. If I tilt my hand, you'll see there's 3 fingers. I just wanted to share 3 things that were kind of like outcomes or things that the person realized, recognized as a result of us working together. And I feel like there are things that could apply to a lot of people. So I thought I'd just share them in general and see if maybe this would help you guys. So here we go. The first thing is to not compromise on your integrity as an artist and to not do things that is against kind of like your own moral code or against your code as an artist and how you want your art to be created or how you want to be compensated for that. I think that because us as artists, we want to create a positive effect most times, right? And we have an opportunity to help someone. We may go a little bit outside of our integrity or compromise on certain things to do so. And at the beginning, it looks like a good idea, right? Because there's this person, he could actually use our art, our product or service, and we want to maybe work something out to help them. And I'm not saying not to do that, but just to kind of have like a defined line for yourself about non-negotiables, things that you wouldn't ever compromise on. So what can happen is you might create a situation where you've gone so far above and beyond that now the person kind of is put in a way that they can never exchange with you, in a way they could never repay you. You kind of get this idea. So for example, if you're an artist, let's say you're a painter or you're a filmmaker, you're a musician, and someone wants that painting, that film, that piece of music from you, right? But they're not able to pay you your full rate, as an example, right? So you have a choice as that artistic creator. You have to determine, all right, so I've created this thing, there's sentimental value, these things are quite invaluable, so you are the one to determine how much you're willing to accept for it, right? Now, if you are of the mindset where it's like, hey, just the fact that this piece of work is in someone's hands, that's enough for me, and you're willing to adjust how much you get paid on it, totally fine, right? But if you rely on that money to support your livingness, right, then you're actually doing yourself a disservice by taking less than what you would deem the value of it. And you could put that person in a situation where maybe because they're not able to actually pay you for what it's worth, they start to act weird with you, they start to do odd things, right? And the relationship kind of suffers. So the whole idea here is think long-term what your decision is going to do. What are the perhaps pros and cons of it long-term versus the immediate payoff, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is I spoke with a lot of people this week that have really big goals, and I love that. Big goals is where it's at. If we're the musician, we want to be doing worldwide tours. We want to be known. If we're an actor or actress, we want to be like the lead role. We want to be in feature films, right? Whatever it is. And you always want to have your ultimate goal because it's like the drive, the thing that you're really looking to accomplish. Now, what I saw with some people is that they didn't know what was in between where they are now and that ultimate goal. It was almost so far out of reach that they couldn't envision the steps to get there. So whenever I'm working with someone, I always want to know what their ultimate goal is, but I ask them to think of, good, what's the next milestone from where you are now to actually reaching that point, right? So let's say right now you're just creating music, or you're doing like school sketches, right? Or you're doing like free shows, whatever it is. and you want to just be living off your art completely. So the next milestone may be, all right, good, you're actually getting some money from your art, right? Doesn't necessarily need to be a lot, but maybe the next milestone is, hey, I'm a paid working artist. That might be the next milestone. So then the whole idea is to create actionable steps that would take you from where you are to that milestone. And it's a lot more easier to envision these when it's the next milestone versus something way up here. So I've seen that to be a good drive, a good motivation for people to actually make traction towards their goals. And it gives you a way to look at, all right, is what I'm doing now actually taking me to that next milestone? And if it isn't, should you be doing it? Cool. All right. So the final point that I was going to go over with you is when you have an art, a product or service, you're perhaps just starting out and you're looking to get like your first client. There is a formula that's called the non-existence formula. And it's called non-existence because it's something you're just starting. So this is something that you would apply for any activity that you're just starting. And if you want to know more about this, I can send you a link on it. It's actually an amazing tool because it basically teaches you the exact steps to starting something brand new and actually getting it going and getting some results with it. So what I will say on this point though, that's very important, is that when you have a product or service or an art, there is a particular audience, a public, a group of people that are going to resonate with that and find that valuable. A lot of businesses do this thing called market research when they're looking to develop a product or service to see, okay, like how viable is this thing, right? Now, when you're an artist, it's a little bit different because it's more of a passion. It's not something that you really feel like you have a choice on. It's something you enjoy doing, right? So we can think of the painter, the musician, maybe the sculptor, right? Maybe you teach a form of dance. Maybe you're a dance teacher, right? So there's obviously certain people that are going to resonate and find that valuable. So my first advice would be to understand who that is. You've heard of defining your niche, maybe. So it's a similar idea, except you want to know exactly who that is, because if you're going to market what you have to offer and you market it to everyone, it's not going to be as effective, and it could end up being like a long runway for you to actually getting some return interest. Okay? So the first kind of tip here on this is define who your audience is. That's going to find what you do valuable. I can send you the rest of the steps on this if it's something that would interest you, but I think that's just a big part in of itself. And once you have that defined, you will actually start to see, all right, where are these people located? How can I get in touch with them? Because that's going to be the next thing you need to do. In person is 100% going to beat out anything. If it's online, you can do that too. You can reach more people quicker that way. And there's probably inexpensive free avenues for you to be able to do that. So I can only do 10 minutes in IGTV. So I'm going to cut it short here. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If there's anything about it that really helped you, maybe you realized something for yourself, I'd love to hear it. And if you would like to speak with me about your art, your career, your goals, some of the things you're running into on there, I'd be honored to just talk to you about it, learn more about it, and offer my advice. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all the stuff. And maybe I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks. Bye.